allegations made against Harvey Weinstein take us back to the not-so-golden age of Hollywood.
Of having your hostess ask you to sing.
The scandal exposes a casting couch culture that most had assumed was a thing of the past. In her teens, Judy Garland says she was propositioned for sex. Joan Collins believes she lost out on the lead in Cleopatra because she wouldn't sleep with the studio head. And as a child star, Shirley Temple, in her memoirs, said a producer exposed himself in their first meeting. The world has changed a lot since then. The movie industry, it would seem, has not. Are the allegations against Harvey Weinstein depressing? Yes. Surprising? Perhaps not. Weinstein's behaviour, it would seem, has been an open secret, joked about in the industry for years.
Oh, please. I'm not afraid of anyone in show business. I turned down intercourse with Harvey Weinstein on no less than 3 occasions, out of 5.
And comedian Seth MacFarlane made this joke when announcing the 2013 Best Actress Oscar nominations.
Congratulations, you 5 ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
So how come nobody dared to challenge Weinstein until now?
I would say every actress I know has experienced some form of sexual harassment in her career. That's me included. Things are done because people can get away with it, and people can get away with it because it's unregulated, and it's a lot to do with who knows who. It's very undercover, the whole casting process, and the performances and rehearsals are often secret because they don't want anyone to know what the show is going to be about.
Hollywood has reacted with horror to the claims, but could it do with sparing us the hypocrisy?
People have enabled this behaviour, and I think that's it. We've got to remember it's not just one sleazy guy, it's a whole culture around him that says that it's okay to treat women like this, to abuse your power.
Corey Feldman has no idea what it's like not to be famous. He was just 3 years old in this McDonald's commercial.
McDonald's gift certificates. I literally was famous before I knew my own name.
His roles defined the 80s. Goonies.
This was my dream, my wish.
Stand By Me.
You call my dad a loony again, and I'll kill you.
License to Drive.
The only difference between you and that greaseball is that he has a license and you don't.
Films that propelled him into the spotlight for his entire youth. But being famous so young, he says, caused serious damage to him and his friends.
Do you feel like you missed out on a normal childhood?
What childhood? I don't know what that means.
A lost childhood and a loss of innocence. He blames the adults, not just those looking to profit from charming children, but also some with far more sinister motives.
I can tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh, yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
Vultures who Feldman says abused him and his best friend, the late child actor Corey Haim, his co-star in The Lost Boys.
Well, what happens if my mom is dating the head vampire?
Feldman says the trauma of that pedophilia contributed to Haim's death.
There's one person to blame in the death of Corey Haim, and that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you. Yeah.
Intriguing.
Yeah. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids. And they all had either their own power or connections to great power in the entertainment industry.
Feldman won't name names. And he admits his friend had a struggle with addiction, which he says was a mechanism to cope with his demons.
It was a symptom.
It was a symptom, correct.
Are we in it?
In 2008, the two Coreys confronted each other on their reality show about the dark past they shared.
You let me get around in my life, man, raped, so to speak, when I was about 14 and a half, and I'm saying this right now. What'd you do, man, when you saw that going down when I was 14 to me? What'd you do? You knew about it.
You want to talk about the truth? Okay, well, then let's talk about the truth. I was being molested at the same time by somebody else. What'd you do? You know, there's a lot of good people in this industry, but there's also a lot of really, really sick, corrupt people in this industry. And there are people in this industry who have gotten away with it for so long that they feel they're above the law. And that's got to change. That's got to stop.
We contacted Corey Haim's mother. In an email, she said, "I'm not willing to discuss or respond to anything Corey Feldman has to say. I wish he would talk about himself only and leave my son out of it."
Is there a dark side to child stardom?
Definitely. I think a lot of kids don't really want to do it. I think that the parents want to do it more than the kids.
Chris Snyder says for most child stars, it's the parents that can cause more damage. And he would know, having managed with his late boss Iris Burton some of the most iconic child stars, including Feldman, River Phoenix, and Drew Barrymore.
The biggest problem in the whole thing is when the parents start to live through the kids and quit their jobs and buy expensive houses, buy expensive cars, and the parents aren't understanding it's not going to go on forever, and it just wrecks everything.
Feldman's parents managed his career until the money came between them.
I got legally emancipated by going to the Producer's Pension Health and Welfare Plan myself at 14 years old and saying, what were my earnings and what's left? Earnings, by the time I was 13 years old, $1 million, which is really not that much money, but in those days it was. You know, in the late 70s, early 80s, that was a good chunk of change.
And how much was left?
$40,000. And guess what? When I went in for the emancipation trial, my father said, since I spent my time with you on your last film and took it away from my office where I should have been focused, instead, I'm going to ask you for that $40,000 back as repayment for the money that I lost in my business.
You had to pay your dad?
Correct. You can check the court filings. That was a fact. Wow. So I started at zero at 15 years old, coming out of the hole.
We asked the court for the records, but they're sealed. In a statement, Corey's father, Bob Feldman, told us any money that the court awarded is a fraction of his claim. And this was a reimbursement for strictly professional expenses, for instance, private school, a publicist, professional wardrobe, traveling expenses, and lots more. This helped to save his career while he was in trouble with drug problems. I thought I was doing the best for my son, and I am always here for him. Child stardom is not a dream Feldman has for his own son.
I'll see you in a minute.
He is, after all, one of the few stars who doesn't let his child get photographed on the red carpet.
Would you ever put your own kid into the industry?
No, absolutely not.
Never?
Never. I believe that everybody in this world should have the freedom of choice.
And child stars don't?
Child stars have nothing. They have nothing. They have no choice. I was never taught how to have a family. I was never taught how to raise a child because I wasn't raised properly. I was never taught how to care for somebody because I was never shown genuine love. I was shown business. This is what you do. Here's how you read a contract. I knew how to read a contract by 10 years old, but I didn't know what it meant for somebody to come in and tell me they love me and kiss me goodnight. That's a problem.
Trying to show y'all just because they looking good and it looks like it's glamour, it's not like that. This shit is all about rituals, demons, Babylonian gods, and screwing a man in his ass. You get in the music industry, they start taking you on these crazy party trips, and it's called the Pandora box. And while it's called the Pandora box, it's called because everybody that's like a masquerade. And sometimes they don't have masks on, but sometimes they do. And you have I've said this in many of my blogs before, but let's just bring it up to par, right? They have masks on, they have androgynous there, they have she-he's, they have women dressed like men. I mean, you name it, it's there. And it's all the top Hollywood actors, models, singers, hip-hoppers, you name it, is there. And they could be dressed in a disguise. So she was exposed to that. My God, I can't believe that. I can't be a part of that. Oh, what you mean you can't be a part of it? If you want your check, you want this Hollywood life, you would be a part of it, and you're not going to share these secrets. She thinks about that. She cried a little bit. They always cry, right? So she said, okay. She goes in this Pandora's box, androgynous owner, man owner, woman owner. That's nothing, right? She's thinking, I got that over with. So she didn't think it was nothing. She didn't really have to do nothing but men go kiss a little. She's used to kissing women. Here's the kicker. The three producers, the headliners, the guy who make Hollywood runs like it does, right, bring her to the upper penthouse tomorrow. So she's thinking she's getting ready to sign a contract. No, they want to pop her in her ass. And this is how they get down. They call it gravy.
If you do get hurt, well, that's just gravy.
Now, everybody, other people may know you from Gravy and your music career. Has this sparked the acting bug? Are we going to see you in a lot more roles following this?
Yeah, definitely. This is my newfound love. Music is my passion. And, you know, acting, I'm definitely getting ready to jump into it.
Okay.
That's a Hollywood slogan for people who just got popped in behind. Well, how did it go, man? How's your career going? Oh, I can tell you right now, baby, everything's gravy. There's been a lot of people that's got their letters on the fly. And they read all the literature. They have them in a nice little room or a sweet hotel. It's real elegant. They do it really nice. And they let you read that letter and they tell you what you think. I ain't got no problem with this. Okay, sign right here. Now, that's the beginning of the rituals of everything that's to come for you. All the doors going to open for you. All the doors are opening. He ain't ready for what they're going to hit him with. We want you to meet some friends, okay? I want you to take it personal because we know that you're about your business and you know how to make that dollar. It's all business. Don't take it personal when you see what's up, right? They take them in this room and there'll be 3-4 dudes on another guy. And he may know that dude in the business. They say, what you're about to see, nobody else knows. This is part of the rituals. You are not to speak about this. You're seeing these dudes, transsexual, transgender, and they're all like lapping this one cat, right? That's the first test to see if you're going to buck. Why I'm telling you that? Because that's the first thing they did to Cat. They took Cat to all these private parties. Cat couldn't believe what he was seeing. Cat rebelled. Usually before they want to take you to the next level, they say, let's see what he's going to think when we take him here. A lot of dudes like, you know what? Fuck that. Ain't got shit to do with me. It's all about the money. Well, it ain't all about the money because now what you saw done to that guy, it's your turn. And you're going to say, they're going to, hey, come on up in here. No, man, I ain't down for that. Well, do you think we're going to keep paying you $5 million a year? Do you think you're going to be honors on BET? Do you really think we're going to keep putting your name in lights? Read the paper, man. Read the letter we gave you. See the letter we gave you, right? Stop bullshit. You're going to do everything that we just did to him. Either you do or we're going to break you. What you mean you're going to break me? We're going to take all your money out your account. Oh, man, this bullshit. I got my rights. Nigga, you ain't got no motherfucking rights. We run this bitch. We decide who's going to be a star, who ain't going to be a star, who's going to be rich, who's going to be poor. Nigga, we do all of those things. Ain't nobody no fucking star. We decide who's going to be a star, who's going to be president, and et cetera. That's who we are. Now you know. Now you open. Now you see. Now you see that this shit ain't about no American Idol. This shit is deeper than American Idol. That's just what you asked for. So what it's going to be, man? Come on, man. All of y'all. So he's already thinking about it. So he wound up sucking the one dude off. Then he sucked the other dude off. Then he sucked the other dude off. Now they Vaseline him up and pop him in his ass. And you're probably saying that's bullshit. That's the way that shit goes. And then what they do, they videotape the shit. Why would they want to videotape that? Y'all say to sell it later? Nah, to keep your mouth closed. If you knew you done took 3 men up the ass and sucked 2 off, and they're real important men. Now, a lot of times, what they'll do while they're doing this thing to you, the men won't be recognizable. They'll have either mask on or they'll just have their face blacked out. It's the truth. Why do you think they do it? They put that shit in a special index box, because if you get out of line, nigga, they're going to say that you was a homosexual, you was a pedophile, you did things that never got caught, and they're going to put this crazy-ass video on you getting boned by men up your ass and taking sperm all in your face. I'm telling you how it goes. They letting you know Denzel Washington is not exempt from getting ran up in his ass either. So a lot of people say, well, he got shot in his ass, but don't mean he went up. Denzel Washington made $25 million picture. You can't make that kind of money if somebody ain't blowing you that's of the same sex. I'm just letting y'all know. Denzel Washington does not get a pass. Nobody in Hollywood gets a pass, and especially no Denzel Washington. Will Smith. Will Smith had a relationship with Benny Medina. Benny Medina ran the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Benny Medina went up in Will Smith so much, Will Smith should be his wife. Okay? Quincy Jones did pop him, fool. He did pop him. Benny Medina had him too. They're all part of the same rituals, man. It's just not no one-man thing. They pass you around just like a little woman. If you want to go in Hollywood, it's just not going to one guy get you. They're going to pass you around, all of them. Because it's from one, it's escalates from one step to the other. It's 1, 2. I don't give a damn. It's never over. Every time you do something, it's not like, okay, it's done. You did it the first time. Now, what you want to do? The sky's the limit. Nah. You want a cologne line, a perfume line? Okay, they take you back to that room and do it all over again. That's why they have rituals. If a Mason who's moving higher up in a Mason brotherhood, he has a daughter, he knows the rules. Somebody in the brotherhood wants your daughter, she could be 12, 13 years old. You try to persuade your daughter to have sex with him so he can be wed her and have a child with her.
They said, will you sit down with Ted? And so I sat over with Ted Kennedy. He's sitting right next to me. Mm-hmm. And Ted and I are, he's just joking. He said, George, you're going to love this job. You're really good with money. We're going to send you out to all the state Democratic functions to raise money for the National Democratic Party. And he said, you're going to meet some real foxy ladies. And just then, my daughter walked in. Mm-hmm. Ted looked at her and he says, wow, I want to go to bed with that. I says, no, you don't, Ted. That's my daughter, and she's 14. And his response to me was, I don't care.
I'm going to read the names I was given. And these are people, folks, that we see every day. And you never realized, ew, behind closed doors, he's a worshiping Satan freak. He's eating poop and having sex with animals and demons. And they all have herpes, folks. Almost all of them have herpes. It's a given when you're a Satanist. So this weekend involved with donkey rituals, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Rabbi Shmuley, however you say his name, the co-founders of Google, the guy who started Beanie Babies, Derrick Rose, co-owner of Chicago Bulls, or the owner of Chicago Bulls, Mike Quigley, congressman, Senator Dick Durbin and Mark Kirk, William Wrigley, the Wrigley billionaire, Emmanuel Rahm and his wife and his brother, Kanye West, Sam Zell, owner of the Cubs, owners of the Blackhawks, the co-founder of Groupon, Valerie Jarrett, NBC News anchors Allison Rosati, ABC's Ron Majors, NBC's Brian Williams, Wyatt Rockefeller, and then you have Hillary and George Soros. You know, you look at these people and you wonder, don't they want out once they get in? How do they get past the feces crap? And I was told that they do enough to stay alive. Look at LeBron James. He was recruited in by his agent and doesn't really want anything to do with it, I've been told, but does enough to stay alive. Shaquille O'Neal, Lady Gaga. Did you see Shaquille O'Neal showing off his ring? Saw a picture of it or YouTube or something. I didn't watch it, but I saw him holding up his masonry ring. He must have went to 33rd degree. When you reach the 33rd degree level, you get a ring, and inscribed on it is your title, which is worthy of worship. Does he really think he's worthy of worship? Would he get sodomized by enough donkeys that got him that title?
You get what I'm saying? So this is the industry, y'all. This is the industry that's going on in America, and most of these guys and girls hate to be alone. And get this, most of them don't have any mirrors in their house. Why is it important not to have mirrors in your house? Because once you have sold your soul, you see images of demons. That's a true fact. Because you don't have any light. The only light you have is Satan. And they hate looking in the mirror. The only time they look in the mirror is when a stylist come over. They don't even comb their hair until the stylist come over. That's how paranoid they are. They hate to be alone so bad. They keep people around them. See, I couldn't understand that way back in the day. Like, why do they have to have so many entourage? Because they're scared out of their wits.
How greedy are you? How bad do you really want it? Because you're going to have to do a lot of vile and disgusting things to be awarded it. You're awarded it. You're allowed to succeed. That's how much Satan controls. If you want to be a network news anchor on one of his media stations, you're going to have to be putting your time into the rituals. Sacrificing babies, adults. That's not once a year, folks. They have to do it constantly because Satan's always demanding more and more and more sacrifices.